birthday with love.
Yes, love, love,
Um,
love. I have my giant tea mug. You probably can't see it because it's white, but
I can
I
see.
got it from Stu Leonard's. Did you ever go to the Stu Leonard's in Connecticut ever?
No, I went to what's that one? Haymarket. That was amazing.
Well, this was the first one that was built. I don't know if he ever built any more besides the one that's in Norwalk, but when we were kids, they had it was you could see the milk getting bottled, like that was the whole
Oh,
thing of it.
love.
And they had a petting area where you could pet like the goats and see the chickens, and then they had ice cream cones in the summer. It was like a family thing, and now it's humongous.
Wow.
It's a real like Connecticut thing.
I don't know about you, but I actually remember having a milkman. I remember it when I was like,
I knew. Yes, I knew our milkman.
I remember the sound of the glass bottles.
Yeah.
Um, those were the days. Okay.
Aha! Nostalgia moment over, and now we're moving along.
I might be crying a lot on this show. We were just talking about chopping stuff. And so today I'm making here's the thing about Corona Kitchen. You learn some family lore.
Yeah.
So we made a cookbook, my family and I. We did a recipe book of my grandma's cooking. Okay.
Aw.
Gave it to everybody for Christmas. My mom did that for a Christmas present. And so I've got the Hrvatsky sauerkraut in here, right, that I'm making. And I was thinking the entire time today that it was my grandmother's recipe, but actually it's my great grandmother's recipe.
Wow.
In the cookbook, and I'll do my Slavic accent, it says, the first of many lichani recipes, as Big Nana says, I started making this after I married Dida. This is mountain people food. We didn't eat this on Eve. So she came from a small island called Uj off the coast of Croatia, across from Zadar. Anybody knows Croatia? And so, they had their food, and it's very close to Italian food because Croatia was ruled by Venice for 900 years. So there's a lot of similarities, I'm sure, in a lot of the things we both cook.
Yeah, I can see that just in the little time we've cooked together.
But then you have the people from the mainland that get all of the Austro-Hungarian influences, right? And then the Moors went through there, and all the different types of wars they had over the last 1,000 years, and occupations and whatnot. And so we had the people from the mountain regions, like my grandfather's side, they have sauerkraut, because a lot of people are like, sauerkraut, how is that? How does that factor in?
I know. I was talking to JD today, and he goes, "Is she German? I didn't know she was German." I'm like, "No, she's not German."
You can only have sauerkraut if you're German. Not the case. So again, I think it was during the Austro-Hungarian Empire when those influences were happening, and so the sauerkraut I'm making, of course, is with spicy Italian sausage, and I'm gonna do Corona Kitchen tweaks today for things that I don't have. But it's really has been a staple in my family, in our holidays, and all of our stuff for as long as I've been alive. And my grandmother, I think, probably made it for like 70 years, if not 75.
Wow.
She loved it. She had her own way of doing it. And every Croatian I know has their own way of doing sauerkraut. So don't get it twisted. This is not just German thing. Anyway, but yeah, it's always, and we have it with pasta and like salad.
Sauerkraut?
All kinds of stuff. So it's weird.
You put sauerkraut on pasta?
No, you have it with your pasta. Like, you make your mostacciole and all your stuff, right, with your bolognese, and then, but your sauerkraut on like the Thanksgiving plate is next to that. And
wow, that's interesting. Well, it's probably really good for your digestion.
The turkey and all that stuff. It's weird. We're weird. I don't know why. So I'm gonna, but I love it. So I'm just gonna, go for it here. And I will post the recipe later. But I found the last 2 jars of sauerkraut at Whole Foods. Just
Oh my God.
I'm like, who's buying this?
I know. It's like the weirdest stuff is just totally gone when you go in the store.
People go for the comfort food, as we've seen. So I'm gonna,
Well, and also sauerkraut lasts.
oh yeah,
So,
and the fermented foods are so good for you. Like I'm totally craving
yep.
my immune system. This kimchi, anything that's fermented, I love. So I'm just, what I'm doing right now is I'm just straining it to get out the jar juices. That's a technical.
Add your own.
Jar juices.
Have you ever made it totally from scratch before?
Yes, I have, and that we don't have time for. But that's a whole other fun thing to do, when you have time on your hands. You know what? I'm probably going to do that, Gabriana, now that got a little time on my hands.
Might be fun to do with the kids.
Oh, they'll love that.
Yeah.
So we were talking about wooden spoons before we went live.
Yeah.
So this is 2, just for the record, 2 1 pint 24 fluid ounce jars.
Okay. The nice big ones.
Yeah, the big ones. And usually I get that Bubby's brand. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I like that brand too.
They didn't have it. They had Whole Foods brand only, so beggars can't be choosers. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this to the side for a second. And
quarantine hunting will get you what you get.
As I put this in the sink.
Okay. Now, we were talking about wooden spoons. I have an acquaintance of ours that we get a lot of our wooden spoons from when we used to have shows and we used to be able to go do our work. But my husband's been involved with the American craft world for his whole professional life, pretty much. And this company, his name is Jonathan. He's known as Jonathan Spoons, but I think his website is woodspoon.com, I think. But he makes the most beautiful wooden spoons.
And you're showing some of them right now. I can't.
Yeah, this one is a toast grabber.
Nice.
And I love this thing. So you don't put your metal knife in the toaster.
Yeah, you just don't want to do metal on metal. That's not going to be a good situation. And also, like if you're people like Franny, my mother, who actually separates and will hit my hand as I'm cooking at her house if I use the sweet area spoon as opposed to the savory wooden spoon. No, that's the wrong one. Okay.
Don't mix the flavors.
Flavors do attach to the spoon, to the wood, but okay, so then I'm gonna chop up 2 medium-sized onions. Oh, and the magic of Facebook Live, I have chopped one of them already.
Oh my goodness. You must have had an assistant come in.
That was our culinary production assistant. Didn't you know we had one?
No, I had no idea.
I.e. me.
How big are those onion pieces? Like about
I'm going to show you about a medium. I mean, here's, oh God, my mom would kill me. I just cut these on my pastry board. Uh-oh. Whoops. I'm gonna have to scrub that with lemon. Okay, this is
don't let her watch this episode.
Mom, don't watch this. Here's the half one. So I'm just gonna chop half of one. And again, like we were saying the other day, it's really to minimize the tears if that happens for you. Everybody send your tips. How do you minimize onion tears? Mine is you get it all done in one full swoop so you don't have this big mountain so the little onion gases can't get you.
Oh, I heard put a piece of bread in your mouth and hold it over the onion so that you can't.
We test that theory?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't really care.
So first thing you do is you get these 2 big onions chopped. It doesn't have to be finely chopped, just good.
Like a rough chop.
Rough chop. And then we're gonna put them in there. I'm already starting to cry. For me, just the word sauerkraut, someone saying it evokes the happiest family memories for me. My dad makes sauerkraut. Like, the men in my family don't really cook. They only know how to do a couple of things: sauerkraut and barbecue.
They sauerkraut and barbecue. That's an interesting combo.
So weird, but my dad makes a killer kraut. I hope he's watching this because he, I think, would approve. But anyways, yeah, and it's, it just reminds me of just happy good times. Okay, so once you put the onions in, you have to add about a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and you're going to brown this first, and then you're going to add the spare ribs.
Spare ribs.
I don't have spare ribs today. I have short ribs because that's all they had. So
okay, well, that's good. Short ribs are good.
I'm sorry about that. And you put in the chopped garlic too. So I'm going to chop the 4 cloves of garlic. Make sure you make this with someone you love. Otherwise, it's, hardcore.
Yeah, totally. So are you going to rough chop that or chop it small?
I'm going to chop this smaller because it has to get, in as many bites as possible. So I'm going to chop it a little bit smaller, not too small because you don't want it to burn. As always, there's the fear of garlic burning.
Yep.
Don't worry about the onions, but yeah.
We're going to put that all in together.
Yes. Well, actually, no. I'm going to wait until I get the short ribs in there to brown them. I'll put this in right after that. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then, and the smell of it is always so lovely and wonderful in a house. Someone was talking about on our group page for Corona Kitchen about how they made cornbread or something just to make their house smell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So nice. I think that's part of one of the reasons why we cook, because it makes our house smell good.
Yes, it does. Well, just having that sensation, all those smells, they just calm you.
They do. They definitely do. Okay, so
that's a nice cutting board.
This is a good one. This is one of those boo boards I was telling you about. That's another brand when I was producing cooking shows back in the day, and still hope to do that. Hi. Anybody from scripts out there? But
when we all can go back to work.
I'm seeing you're seeing my soccer short. Okay, so I'm going to put this on, medium heat, and we're going to start to get this brown. Okay.
Yeah. Do you add any salt in there or any kind of spices or?
Yes. I'm going to put some salt and some pepper. And then I'm going to tell you something really weird that I didn't realize was in the recipe. I'm looking at this recipe and it says nutmeg, which.
Oh, interesting.
You said you weren't shocked about, but for me, teaspoon of nutmeg, I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't surprise me, and I can't remember why. I don't know why, but I know I've used it before in a sour thing like that.
Yes. Well, I could see it's almost like, why do you put fennel in something? There's certain spices that really go with meat, Oh yeah, I'm gonna put some. Here's my unorthodox. I'm gonna put some Chimayo red chili in it again.
Yay, chili!
Put it in everything. It makes the world better.
Well, I like that's kind of in that order of kimchi, spicy cabbage.
Yeah.
Like a fermented cabbage. So it works for me.
Actually, and I will put a little bit cayenne too. It's. I basically use the same spices and everything. It's really, really specific. Oh God, this smells heavenly. Raise your hand if you love the smell of sauteed onions. Yay.
So are you going to put like caraway in there? I mean, I often do that with sauerkraut.
No, I have. I'm going to put a bay leaf in.
Oh, uh-huh.
But I won't. I'm not going to put caraway in this time. But you can.
Yep.
And you can really experiment with this too. I mean, it's like, the sky is the limit. So that's browning away. When I can, I'm going to tilt it.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Oh, look at that color. It's so pretty.
The red is so crazy, but it's beautiful. Okay, so now short ribs. This is about half a pound. You just do it for the flavor. You're not eating these. They're gonna they're gonna come out.
Oh, you're gonna want to eat those, sister.
Well, I probably will, but but it's really basically for the flavor. And then what some people do, like my dad, I think he puts a veal shank in there.
Oh, huh. And yeah, I don't use veal. I haven't eaten veal, I don't know, since I was in my early 20s because it's veal.
We have that in common. I'm not into the baby cow suffering.
Baby torture, no. But I do have to say, if my husband's not exercising enough, I always call him the veal.
Oh,
like, let's go for a walk, veal.
Let's go for a walk, veal. Okay, things we didn't know about Debriana. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cute. So this is totally browning, and it just imparts a wonderful, wonderful flavor. And sometimes when I don't do this, I've done some kind of pork or bacon or fat shoulder, or I bet you could do even duck confit or whatever you want to do.
You could probably do a ham hock if you were stuffed.
Ham hock, you want to have that meat flavor. But for the vegetarians out there, you can completely do it without meat. I've done it many times.
Yeah.
And it's still really good. So
when I was vegetarian, I would do that recipe and I would use tempeh.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's something I never knew you could do, but I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I would brown it first. And I mean, obviously it's not going to flavor the sauerkraut, but the sauerkraut tastes really good on the tempeh, especially if it's crispy. It's
weird because it just sticks in there. Here I am talking about not using metal, and what am I doing? Well, okay. So.
Oh, well, it's not a hard and fast rule.
Okay, so the other thing is when you're dealing with raw meat, wash your hands, which I'm going to do right now.
Good girl.
Can you grab my which I would do anyway, even if we were in quarantine, which I can't believe.
No, we have to do that.
So then, according to the directions, let's see, what does she do? Okay. Okay, so then I put in the garlic.
Oh, good. Yeah, so you have it. The onions are probably getting a little more translucent, and now you can add the garlic, and hopefully they won't burn.
Exactly. You've called it exactly. That's exactly what's happening. And in a little bit, I'm going to put in the sauerkraut because it will be ready, but then I'm going to turn down the heat. This is not a fast food situation. This is, in an ideal world, what would happen in my family is my grandma would probably get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, make it. We would wake up to the scent of this, which is heavenly. And then she'd let it cook for 3 hours, and then we were allowed to eat it. And then the next day, it's even better. It just keeps better and better as you let it go in your refrigerator. If you can keep it that long, people eat it fast. But
do you have a special mustard you like on it? Do you put mustard on it?
We don't do that, but you can. I mean, what I've done with it before is you can put it on hot dogs if you want a kraut dog. I mean, I eat it plain with sausages. That's my favorite way. But you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, when I was vegetarian in New York, I used to get potato knishes, and I would put sauerkraut and mustard on it. Oh,
No.
so good.
Oh, that sounds so good. Okay, so it's really important that you squeeze out the excess water for this kraut. I'm going to put it in now. Here we go, baby. Kraut going in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, so this is a long, like tonight, I will let this cook probably, since it's only 5:30, 7:30, I will allow us to eat it. Because it really needs to simmer and it has to cook down the chicken stock and everything, which we're going to put in shortly. So this is looking good, and it's going to have great flavor with this short rib in there. Wow, that smells like home right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now nutmeg, chopped parsley, chicken stock, and wine. That's
nice.
That's really all you have to do, and then it just simmers for 2 hours. You stir it occasionally, but I'm going to put in the rest of the stuff. So a teaspoon of nutmeg. Get my microplane. I'm in a weird.
I love the microplane.
So how was your day? Did you have a good day?
I did. I had a pretty good day.
What did you do?
I walked on my elliptical machine. It was a little too windy to go out today. I don't like walking in the wind. I remember seeing this on a Chinese medicine. It says, be careful of wind invasion. So I always think of that when I'm out in the wind. I don't like wind invasion. So I stayed, pretty tight to the house. I did, watered the garden and then walked on my machine. And then I got us loaded up on YouTube. So if anyone's out there who's listening, you can join our YouTube channel and see all the videos on demand.
All the episodes, whenever you want to see them.
Yeah. So you don't have to be only scrolling through Facebook to try and find them.
And I guess eventually we'll put the recipes on there, but not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
So
I started cutting fabric to make masks. And get those out to people.
Oh, Debriana, you are a saint.
Yeah, I would say that.
Who are you working with on the masks? What are you doing?
I have some friends who asked for some masks, so I have a couple of different patterns I'm messing around with because you can't get any elastic.
Wow.
There's no elastic, so I have to make it with seam binding. And I'm going to send those out. But there's a group in Rio Arriba County that's putting together masks for people who are working in grocery stores and nursing homes, and they just need some level of protection. They're not surgical mask quality, but they're something.
Well, see, here's another benefit for all of us who know how to sew, and you're one of those people that owns a sewing machine and knows how to sew. I know how to sew. I don't have a sewing machine, but we need people to make these things because we don't have enough. I mean,
Yep. Well, in this group, you can sign up to do the whole thing like me, sew everything, or you could just be a cutter and you could cut the kind of pattern that they need. So there's different things you can do.
I can do that. Send me the link.
Okay, I'll send you the information.
So now I'm going to I put in the parsley, a bunch of parsley, just roughly chopped. Then, and you can use dried or fresh. This is my cousin's, shout out to Tatiana and Peter, their homemade wine.
Yay!
Only white wine I had in the house. Again, wow. I think they made this themselves from their own grapes in Oregon when they were living there. Now they live in Santa Fe, but ideally you want to use Marsala wine or sherry. And I'm just going to use this, and it's going to be fine.
Oh, great.
And it's great.
Yeah. It's kind of forgiving that way. Corona Kitchen is.
It is. And for those of you who don't drink alcohol, the alcohol cooks off. Don't worry. It just adds the flavor, especially after 2 hours.
Yay.
Now, then I'm going to put in probably half of a quart of chicken stock.
Wow, nice.
I mean, this is the thing. I need to leave half of it. I will use a full quart. I need to leave half of it for in an hour. I'm probably going to add another.
Yeah, as it starts to evaporate and cook down. Yeah.
Because this is like simmer down food. Simmer down. Simmer down, people. So this is looking gorgeous, as my mom would say. And I'm very happy with it. I think that's all I need to do except put the lid on, and now I'm going to let it simmer.
And when do the sausages go in?
So here's the thing about the sausages. You can't put them in now as part of this part of cooking. They're just disintegrating.
Yeah, they'll disintegrate.
So what you do is, okay, here's what's in my grandma's cookbook. Cover pot and cook slowly on low heat for 2 hours or more. Be careful not to let the sauerkraut burn because it can burn. In the last half hour, add the sausages cut into fourths. Okay. So,
don't get piggy with the sausages.
Right. I can think of a couple people in my family. I'm letting it simmer. It's going to go for 2 hours. I will add the Italian sausage, and it will be lovely. That will cook for a half hour in a covered pot. I will take a photo. I'll add the recipe.
Nice.
You can
I'm going to show you a couple of spoons before we go. Look at that beautiful ladle. It's a wooden ladle.
I just love.
Yeah, isn't that pretty? I love that ladle. And
people
he does
crafts.
Like, this is polka dotted, like me today.
People do crafts with cooking utensils. For example, I did a show in the Amish country once.
Wow.
And we bought a lot of wooden stuff because there was all this beautifully handmade, wood things.
Hey, are you going to serve that on anything, like on mashed potatoes, or are you just going to eat it that way?
I'm probably just going to have it with a side salad tonight. But normally, I would have it with, I don't know, it's kind of a meal in itself if you make the sausages a meal, and then I'd probably have some kind of green vegetable with it. But tonight I'm probably just going to have it with a salad. But it would be great on mashed potatoes if you want something really hearty.
Yeah, that feels hearty. Yeah. That would be to me. Oh, that sounds delicious. I wish I was coming over.
I know. My grandma would make, she had Swiss chard in her garden always.
Yeah, I do too.
We would probably do like Swiss chard and potatoes, and then we'd have this on the side with the sausage.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So I'll post a picture and the recipe later. I can't wait to see it.
I will. Oh God, it's just heaven. This is just heaven. Yeah. It doesn't get better.
Heaven in a pot.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's all I know.
All right. Well, have a good night and enjoy your sauerkraut. Yum.
Thank you. Thank you, Grandma Papatone up there. Oh, yeah. She came to me the other day. Oh, here's a sidebar. So I had a psychic reading.
Yes. I know. We've resorted to psychic readings now.
My friend, our mutual friend, Leslie, and my great-grandma came through to talk.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was really incredible. And I don't know, maybe I've just been thinking about her because I was thinking this entire time, like I said, this was my grandma's recipe, but no, great-grandmother. And
see, she came to tell you, no, it's my recipe.
All the Croatians out here, she was Lichani and came from the area of Lika in Croatia in the mountains. And this is the type of food that they made. So
lovely. So beautiful. Thanks for watching, everybody, and check out our YouTube channel and subscribe over there and share it around. Okay, when you go to YouTube, here's a tip. You'll type in Corona Kitchen. Use the link, okay? But if you don't, or if you lose it or you don't have access, you'll have to scroll down a while to get to our plate, fork, spoon icon. Yes. But you'll find it. You'll find us and subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Okay, honey, I'll see ya. Bye. See you tomorrow. Bye. See ya. Bye.